Come on in, kid. Stay still, allow your heart to cease racing toward every sound that demands its attention, and allow your intellect to halt its frenzied pace. Questions you haven't asked, worries you've suppressed, and thoughts that keep circling like birds, searching for a place to rest, are all part of the storm you've carried inside of you. However, now I want you to take a breath now, spiritually as well as physically. Inhale the silence I provide, because I am here in the whisper, in the stillness that speaks louder than 1,000 voices, not in the commotion or the noise. In those still hours, haven't you sensed me before? In the instant when your spirit was awake and the world was sleeping, you had a feeling, a presence, a nudge of silence that caused your heart to stop. I was that person, however. You weren't always aware of it. You dismissed it, blaming it on emotion, weariness, or chance. The small cues I put in your way to guide, protect, and warn you have been disregarded by you. I don't blame you for missing them. However, I came to talk again today with clarity, not in hints and reality, not in riddles, because you have my undying love. You are living in a period in which something that you cannot see is suddenly, not violently, but suddenly forming all around you. It was the silent crawl of shadows, not the sound of footfall. And the purpose of this is to alert you, not to fear you, to inform you. If you trust in God's grace, type 111 and forward this video to 7 others. This shadow doesn't announce its presence. There doesn't seem to be any threat. It doesn't say, I'm here to ruin you. No, it mutters consolation. It says you're all right. There is nothing wrong. This is typical. Simply keep moving forward. However, that poses a risk. It loves you. It envelops itself in seemingly innocuous rituals, diversions, and concessions. You gradually let go of what formerly had great significance. You stopped hearing me because other noises were louder, not because I stopped talking. You start to stray, and it never seems like falling while you're floating, until you discover the anchor is gone, and you are far from the coast you were standing on. It seems like you are floating. So today I'm aiming for you. Thunder is not what I'm going for. I could do anything to grab your attention, but I'm not. By speaking straight to your heart, I'm accomplishing something more powerful. I am aware of your hardships. I am aware of how you have been feigning well-being, smiling despite your weariness, and persevering while your spirit is weary, while you've been telling everyone that you're overflowing. You've been operating on empty. But you weren't supposed to bear this alone. My kid, you have been struggling as you sleep, carrying the burden of things you are unable to identify. that misunderstanding, that fatigue, that pain within that never goes away, no matter how hard you try to ignore it. Your spirit is pleading with me for that. I've been there even when you weren't aware of it, stepping in ways you won't comprehend right away. That was me when you were hesitant to go inside. That was me when your heart constricted before you answered the phone. That was me when you had the strong one to pause, turn around, or make a different decision. I shielded you from threats you were unaware existed. In the night I protected your dreams, to prevent assaults that would have broken your soul. I sent my angels. When you were encircled, I was there. Your heart almost shattered while I was holding it, and I'm still doing it now. However, this phrase, "this time is different," this is more than simply a soft whisper meant to reassure you. This is a summons from God to wake you up, a realignment moment, because without me, you cannot manage what is ahead. The landscape is new. Clarity will be necessary for the choices. You won't realize how much your current course will define you. Type 222. If you are ready to receive God's healing today, I'm not urging you to worry. Rather, I'm inviting you to change the way you stand. Should cease presuming that things that seem innocuous are innocuous, to regain the ability to perceive, to resume listening. You no longer expect me to talk intelligibly. However, I am today at this point. You have to choose between drifting further away or becoming closer. I'm not threatening when I say that. I say that because it is true and comes from the one who knows the direction of every journey. Your love and support mean everything to us as we continue sharing God's message of hope, faith, and blessings. If this message has touched your heart, we humbly invite you to show your gratitude by giving at least $11. Super thanks are your choice each month. Whoever can give super thanks, please give as much as possible. And whoever cannot, please try to read this message completely. Your generosity helps us create more uplifting content that inspires souls and brings people closer to God. By clicking the Super Thanks button below, you're not just supporting our work, you're becoming a part of this divine mission to spread God's love to those who need it most. Thank you for your kindness. Stay blessed, stay joyful, and may God's grace always be with you. What is developing around you is not so much circumstantial as it is spiritual. Even if your home, career, and relationships are important, they are not the only factors. It has to do with your soul. It has to do with how sensitive you are to meet concerns. If your spirit is gradually waning or remaining keen, because shadows find an open door. When your heart starts to embrace everything, when your soul stops feeling the need to make minor concessions, And when you stop mourning what you used to shy away from, however my love for you is unwavering, I still have hope for you. I don't feel guilty about you. You don't bore me, you are still my adored. I still see your potential despite the weight. I can still see your true self. That's the reason I'm saying this now. The fire inside you is being reignited by me. I'm inviting your soul to awaken with purpose. Not in a panic. You haven't been picked yet. They're still calling you. I still have you. You have to slow down now, however, so you can hear me once more. Go back to the silence where our talks used to flow. Go back to the expectant posture when you search for me in everything, because I've always been there. There has been a lot of noise all around you. Allow me to be your clarity once again. I'm going to start introducing you to new things. The covert intentions in seemingly secure locations. Beneath smiles lies dishonesty, the diversions masquerading as advantages. I'll find out what was set to stop you, not to embarrass you, but to set you free. But only if you stroll near me will this be possible. If your spirit doesn't harden, even when the outside world cries for something else. If you decide to pay attention when I murmur, if you believe in the power of God's love, type 333 and share this video. 1,000 confirmations are not necessary. All you have to do is obey my voice. I'm playing a delicate game with your life. It needs all of your focus. I'm changing the scenery inside of you, not simply the outside world. Your mental processes, your feelings, your insight in spiritual matters, the things that formerly held you in place, are being restored by me. Say a prayer. Sensitivity, I wonder, conviction. Have faith and I'll restore the aspects of you that disappointment eroded as you relearn the falsehood you believed. I will accompany you on your journey. The falsehood that you've gone too far. Saying you missed your moment was a lie. The falsehood that said you lacked the necessary strength, purity, or spirituality. My words were never such. Allow me to remind you of your true self, which is founded on my promise, rather than how well you do. My vessel is you, you are my kid. You may still be used, redeemable. I'm still strong if you have to cry. Let them if the weight needs to break. Let it give up the dread that has kept you acting fake. With me you don't have to act fake. You didn't before you broke. I knew who you were and I still choose you. I'm calling you forward now. Not back. Don't go back to humiliation. Don't go back to regret, but forward into the light, into a purpose, into lightness. You're not in the rear, you're evolving. You're not breaking down, they're remaking you. Allow the shadows to go drop the false comfort. Allow me to raise you to your rightful place, not because you merited it, but because you were meant to be with me. I will help you make selections in the next days. I'll verify your actions. I'll offer disturbance as your warning, and tranquility as your signal. In meetings, houses, and places where your future is being fashioned, I shall go before you and pave the way. But keep your distance. You will get the clarity you desire, but only if you stay close to the sound of my voice. Are you ready now, kid? Will you give this term enough time to take root in your mind? Because I still have a lot more to share. There is so much more to repair. I have so much more to let out through you. If you trust God's plan, type for 140 and forward this video to 7 others. Your narrative doesn't stop here. This is the journey back to the beginning of your real story. My child, walk boldly in faith and love. With your super thanksgiving, let the truth of my word reach those who long for the light. Join me in this divine mission to heal and uplift. Click on the Super Thanksgiving button and be enveloped in my grace. Now, and listen to this message further. The pivotal moment, the holy silence. The location where the sounds subside and my voice reclaims its position is the most loud thing in your existence. So raise your gaze, take another breath. Let your soul be free and tell me right now. Cool Lord, I'm paying attention. Comment. Speak, Lord, if you're prepared to hear from God once again. I'm paying attention, but you have to give me permission. Permit me to access those secret areas you've kept locked off to everyone, even yourself. Allow me to explore the chambers of your heart, where you close the doors in silence after feeling disappointed, expecting that no one, not even me, would inquire about them again. However, I saw everything. I saw the dreams that you secretly buried. The screams you never let out were heard by me. I became aware when you began to sacrifice your happiness in order to survive, and I saw how you gradually changed into someone you aren't anymore, not because you rebelled, but rather because you gradually lowered your light to reconcile with things that weren't from me. However, I've come to call you home once again, not to a structure or show, but to the location of inner rest, where we may stroll side by side once more. You're chilly on the inside because of the fake warmth. You've accepted those superficial exchanges, fleeting solaces and short-term getaways. Although you smile, the light behind it wavered. I'm okay, you said, but it was more habit than reality. What no one else has dared to say. Let me say it, you are not okay. However, it does not imply that you are irreparably damaged. You're just worn out. I'm sick of waging conflicts that nobody witnesses. Are you sick of trying to keep your surroundings together while your soul is falling apart? Are you sick of dancing to amusing diversions that don't help you? I still love you, and I always will. When you're alone yourself, the pain in your chest when a song starts playing, that unexpected surge of emotion, that sporadic remembrance that makes you cry uncontrollably, your spirit is answering my call in that way. Your spirit is aware of me, even if your thoughts wander, even if your routine takes my place, even when the loudness of the world makes you numb. I imbued you with eternity. Therefore, you will never be satisfied by anything transient. You're experiencing it now, the profound void in the heart of the packed agenda. The abundance was fueled by that yearning, the follower's sense of isolation, the pain behind the picture. I'm presenting this to redeem you, not to make you feel ashamed, as I still have things planned for you. I continue to see your initial plan, your mission untarnished by suffering and your calling, unfazed by your diversions. Nothing has been squandered, not the tears, not the quiet, not the days you thought you had been forgotten. Your narrative was still being written by me. Type Amen if you are ready to walk in God's light. However, I need you to realign yourself. I need you to listen to me once more, because threats aren't always obvious. Occasionally it appears as comfort. At times it seems to be what you were looking for. Sometimes it gradually feeds you falsehoods while posing as friendship. I never asked you to carry anything, yet you've become so used to it. You've become used to environments that wear you out, patterns that are hurting. You have been reconciled, however. I called you to live fully, not to manage survival. Therefore, this message is more than simply encouragement. For today, divine intervention is what it is. You're getting close to a time when forces that don't care about you will either rewrite your future or take it back. The course you take next will depend on the influence you let in today, and what you become will depend on the next step you take. So now cease. Take a breath, honestly ask yourself, where am I headed on this journey? Who is influencing my ideas? What am I no longer observing? Which cautions did I ignore because they seemed insignificant? Don't undervalue minor changes. Although a seed is tiny, it develops into a tree. Although a whisper is silent, it determines the soul's course. Many of the things you've put up with, my darling, are slowly starting to become established. What you believed to be just a season is attempting to define who you are. You've started to distance yourself from my voice because of what seemed like just a little distraction. However, here I am, I'll give you a call back before the fracture heals. Calling you back before your energy is used on unworthy fights. I'm calling you back before the darkness fully envelops you. You're not as lost as you think you are. You're not that far away you don't feel to numb. You're not too damaged. Restitution is only one surrender away. Clarity is only one calm moment away. Turning back into my arms is only a gentle yes away. Will you allow me to interrupt? Will you allow me to demonstrate that what you considered typical wasn't what I had in mind for you? You are surrounded by individuals who seem to care, yet their presence is dimming your light. You're attempting to occupy spaces that I never gave you. You're attempting to get acceptance from those who are secretly wishing to see you fail. However, I'm not like them. I don't wait for you to make errors. I lean in, step in, and save lives. And you're saved by this, not by force, not by coercion, however. By truth, you weren't designed to live by acting. I created you to succeed by abiding in me. Type 555 if you believe in God's timing. Let me take care of the things that have been making you weak. Allow me to show you what has been consuming your energy. Allow me to touch the areas of you that you believed were irreparable. You are no longer supposed to bear this burden. Put it down, give up your never-ending quest for success. Let go of the worrying that you are insufficient. Release the pressure to continue performing. Now you can quit. You are able to breathe. You are welcome to return to the calm waters I provide. Not simply emotionally, but also spiritually. Profoundly and permanently, you may be reborn. The version of you that used to dream with me may be restored. That was once the case. That was once a suspiciously happy thing, without apologies that used to hope. It's not too late, you're not too old. You haven't gone too far, I am still pursuing you. As shown by this very message, that you are still something I desire, that you are still my choice. You are my darling, my masterpiece is you. You are the beginning of my miracle, and I'm pleading with you to trust me once again, right now, with your direction as well as your salvation, with your choices as well as your soul, with your future as well as your suffering. I'll demonstrate for you what to avoid. I'll give you the courage to refuse. I'll give you your sight back so you can see what has been lurking in plain sight. However, I am unable to tread this path for you. You have to make a decision. Decide to wake up, decide to pay attention. Decide to state I want real fire now, not fake warmth. And I'll respond yes. I will respond like the morning. I shall arrive and illuminate the gloom. I'll reach inside your head and clear the air. I'll envelop you in my presence like a peace robe. Since I am who I am, the years are restored by me. The God who returns you home is me. I am the God who rebuilds what was destroyed, in addition to forgiving. So now is the time a holy return, not just a remark or an emotional response. The drift ceases at this point. Here's when everything starts to make sense. This is the point at which you proclaim, I'm not yours to the darkness directly. I am a part of the light at this point. You race toward the one who provides life and cease to entertain what is killing you. Your tale changes at this point, not because of your power, but rather because of my love. Take a big breath now. Allow your heart to react even if your voice trembles. Whisper this type 6. 66 to receive divine guidance from God. I am yours, God. I'm paying attention, I am eager to go home. And I'll always see you there. My dear, let's take a moment together. You've been attempting repairing, surviving and hurrying, however. I'm not expecting you to put forth any effort to impress me. I'm pleading with you to remain still, long enough to hear my whispers above the den. I've seen you on edge, going about your days as if you're walking a tightrope, acting as though nothing is wrong, and convincing yourself that you're strong enough. However, this is not how you were meant to live. You weren't meant to live in constant danger of collapsing, claiming that tiredness is normal, referring to bewilderment as serenity, and contenting yourself with what hardly keeps you going. You were forced to walk safely by me. I created you for open areas, sunshine and soul-stirring laughter, not for the kind grin that conceals mute grief. You're not letting me down by being exhausted. You're not disappointing me by being tired out. Your ability to tolerate it is what hurts my heart, not your weakness to make suffering more commonplace, saying I'm fine when you're really feeling like you're vanishing within. I am aware late night musings are nothing new to me. I am aware of the empty mornings when you are already exhausted. I am aware that even though you put your all into everything, you still feel invisible. I am aware of how difficult it is for you to maintain your composure, and I see the parts of your heart that you've hidden behind obligations, setbacks, and coping strategies, the areas you won't even look at anymore, the locations that used to be filled with passion. Purity and tranquility now seem empty. You don't have to continue living this way. It's been too long. For what you're referring to is just a rough season. Your soul is slowly being eroded by what you've called just part of life. You've been further separated from the happiness I meant for you by the little concessions the silent diversions, and the subtle routines that promised respite, but instead created a prison. These are not trivial matters. Your life is being drained by them, even if you've mastered the art of wearing your strength. Like armor, I can see through it. I can tell how tired you are. Your laughing has an anguish that I can hear. I sense the strain in your prayers, the faith that remains, but it is weary, frail and shaky. You weren't meant to endure this silent suffering. Your heart is light, your feet are firm, and your pleasure is genuine. You were created to live close to me. You remained where you are, however, and I understand why. I am aware of how some things started off innocently. I see how that relationship, that routine, and that way of thinking appeared innocuous. However, what started off as comfort has now become imprisonment. What formerly seemed to be a familiar route has turned into a path that leads to spiritual exhaustion. If you believe in the power of faith, type 777 and like this video. You're acting, functioning, and going through the motions. But behind it all, you're unraveling. You haven't been left here by me. I won't, I am still close. However, I will not fool you or lie to you. I don't want you to be that almost okay, that you've come to accept as usual. I don't want to leave you in the spiritual haze that has become your everyday background. I'm going to call you out, not out of rage, not in a judgmental sense. In love, a decision is now in front of you. There won't be any urgent warnings or flashing lights on it. It will appear suddenly. A discussion that changes something inside you, and a learning offer or a routine that is consoling, yet depleting. There will be a little pull that you have previously ignored, but pause this time. Listen this time, don't dismiss it this time. I'm the one giving you that gentle prod, pulling you back before you lose your balance, before you plunge into a depth from which it is more difficult to recover. I'm not waiting for you at the bottom right now. I'm here to make sure you don't fall at all. But you will have to make a decision. If you want to remain on solid footing, you must turn away from the things that are gradually making you weaker. You will have to quit accepting the myth that this weight is a natural part of life, closing doors that no longer serve your soul will be necessary. Yes, it will need bravery, but not a bravery you have to summon yourself. I'll give it to you if you ask me. Ask me and I'll give you strength. Ask me and I'll illuminate your way with new light. Fixing everything in a single day is not necessary. A flawless strategy is not necessary. All you need is an open heart, because it hurts me more to see you grow. Settle, suffer, and accept it as normal than it does to see your flaws. It's impossible not to notice when you lose your brightness, your humor, and your profound inner serenity. You do miss it, you miss you. The liberated you, the you who once had hope, the you who once felt my proximity and didn't doubt your continued affection. And you may locate it once again. To get there, however, you need to begin referring to the pain in your soul as a signal, a heavenly warning that something has to change. That dissatisfaction you've been suppressing is a gift. That emotional numbness is your soul pleading with me. And that weariness is me telling you this isn't it. You were intended to live completely in my presence, not to subsist with fragments of me. Therefore stop acting as if the things that exhaust you are unimportant. It matters if it breaks your spirit. It's important if it takes away your happiness. It's not from me if it leaves you feeling empty. Return to the peaceful area. Allow me to repair what has been damaged. Where things have seemed dreary and burdensome, let me to provide new vitality. Allow me to fortify you so that you may feel alive once again, not so that you can do more. If you believe in the power of prayer, type 888 and forward this video to 7 faithful people. My recovery won't be noisy. There won't be a show to accompany my regeneration. There will be silence at first when you acknowledge, Jesus, I can't carry this anymore. It will start. I want you to return to every aspect of me. It just need that perfection is not what I'm asking. I'm requesting authorization. Let me in one again. Allow me to be heard above the background noise. Allow me to demonstrate what true serenity is. Not only momentary solace, but the type that completely restores your essence. Allow me to reveal your true self once again. In my view, you have always been not the worn out, broken version you see, but the cherished, bright soul I purposely made. You still have a shot, you haven't lost your opportunity. This breath alone demonstrates that there is yet time. So quit trying to justify your pain. Stop masking the anguish to get through another week. And stop referring to the wound as a phase. You are no longer forced to dwell under that shadow. Light is what you were designed for. You were intended to stroll in tranquility, living totally, freely, and profoundly is what you were meant to do. Will you come back now, not for a short time, but for a fresh start? You can get back up. You may regain your wholeness. You may walk in my love once again with your head up, your spirit bright and your heart completely awake, rather than carrying your past with you. If you trust in God's plan, type 999 and share this video with 7 others who have faith. Now I'm extending my hand. Not tomorrow, not after you've fixed yourself. Right now, will you accept? Jesus, I'm ready to come home. In the comments if this message was for you. Make this the moment that changes your life. Please subscribe to support our channel and turn on bell notification.